At the state level, seats in the Senate and Assembly are up for election tonight, but don't expect to see any changes from the faces that we've seen in those seats. 7 News reporter Mark Mason Jr. is live in studio with us tonight to run through what the Assembly races look like. Mark.
Garrett, no challengers means an easy road tonight for state assemblymen in the North Country, and that's including Scott Gray. Gray represents the 116th Assembly District, and he's finishing his first term in the job, in which he took on tough assignments like advocating for parts of the St. Lawrence Psychiatric Center to get torn down, about 10 buildings in all, many dilapidated and ignored by the state for years. Gray also recently helped the Sackett's Harbor man beat the state over traffic tickets he was getting but shouldn't have out of New York City. And Gray helped Watertown manufacturer Metalcraft Marine get back into the game to bid on a state contract. Gray serves parts of Jefferson and St. Lawrence counties, including Watertown, Canton, Clayton, Dexter, Cape Vincent, and more. Ken Blankenbush, who represents the 117th Assembly District, is also running unopposed for the state assembly position. He was first elected to office in 2010, taking office in 2011. Blankenbush serves parts of St. Lawrence, Jefferson, and Lewis counties in areas such as Lowville, Lyons Falls, Governor, Harrisville, and Fort Drum. During this term, Blankenbush has been involved in solving numerous issues related to agriculture and stood opposed to state decisions made by Democrats in Albany with spending too much in the state budget. We heard from the Assemblyman earlier tonight at a Republican watch party where he talked about his priorities for his next term.
One of those things affects my district in Lewis County, and that's the Kraft Heinz plant, and it's called the packaging bill. Well, that's what I call it. Bill, the other thing is we're going to still try to curtail the SAFE Act. Now, that's a battle that we've been doing for years and years, but we're not going to give up on that.
The Assemblyman will head back to Albany in early January to begin the next legislative session. Garrett?
All right, Mark, thank you. Well, let's head back to that watch party in Watertown that we just mentioned. It's at the Italian American Club tonight. That's where 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning joins us live from. Hey, Lexi.
Hey, Garrett, the crowd here at the Italian American Club has died down a little bit, but the excitement definitely hasn't. Jefferson County Republicans here watching those results come in for both state races and the federal presidential race. I'm joined now by Assemblyman Scott Gray. Scott, so you are unchallenged. You are, running unopposed. What are some of your priorities going into this next session?
So I've tried to keep a very hyper focus on the district issues, and I'll continue to do that going into the next term. So I'm, first of all, thank all the voters for their support and that they've shown to me last election, then this election. So this is I think the third time that this seat has gone uncontested. So hopefully that's a sign of what I'm doing for the public and for, in their service to them. We've got a lot of big issues. We're going to continue to work to stabilize, make sure our colleges are stabilized, our higher education institutions. We're going to work on our prisons. We're going to make sure that they're protected and they're resilient and they stay open. Housing is a big issue that we're going to continue to work on those issues that affect the people in the 116th Assembly District. We have an eye going forward. Certainly we're looking at the greater micron development, and that's going to play into the area. So we're going to try to tie in all of the assets from the 116th Assembly District into how they're going to go into the micron development. So we've got a lot of work to do. It's all good work, and we've got a lot of energy behind us for the community. So
I heard you talking a little bit earlier. You're paying a lot or close attention to some of the other state races, across New York State, because these are the people that you will be working with in the Assembly. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing there?
Yeah, so we're getting a mixed bag of results right now. We've got some that are coming from fighting from behind, that they're coming up, and then we've got a couple that have taken the leads over incumbents. So hopefully we pick up a couple of seats there. We get over the supermajority. That's been our objective. Hopefully the Senate does the good thing. That kind of puts us more in play in terms of conversations with the governor. We have good relationships. It's about relationship building when you're in Albany. We have good relationships. We'll maintain that, but hopefully we pick up some seats.
And last question, what are some of your thoughts about what's going on nationally with the presidential election?
Yeah, that's, it's too close to call right now. There are a couple of states that are leaning in the right direction, so hopefully that continues. The momentum that's gone through the rest of the night, hopefully it continues to go forward.
Scott Gray, thank you so much for your time. Garrett, we'll send it right back to you.